Hello YouTube, it's me, Bergie, and I'm back with another review. As you can see by the title of this, it's going to be about Season 5 of Once Upon a Time up until the mid-season finale, which happened not this past Sunday, the Sunday before, so 2 weeks ago. I'm going to jump right in, so if you have not seen Once Upon a Time or are not caught up, don't watch because I'll be spoiling some stuff. So you've been warned. Warned. I cannot talk. So in season 4, it ended with Emma sacrificing herself to the darkness and becoming the Dark One. And everybody else was trying to find out the way to save her, which was, the only way was to go to Merlin for help. So that's where this season starts. This review will be similar to my Doctor Who one, if you have seen that. If not, I'll link it below. And similar to it, I won't go in depth really for each episode. Instead, I'll focus on 10 points, which I've picked, which will kind of go through character analysis, specific scenes or plots and stuff, and predictions for the next season. So let's get started. Number 1. This season's plot is really similar to the past, 4 plots for the first half of each season. It seems like all of them go the same way. There's a forgetting curse, and then there is many flashbacks to see what we've missed. And this structure worked the first maybe 2 times it was used, but it's getting kind of old now. I mean, there has to be other ways to kind of have a surprise element that doesn't involve having everybody forget what happened the last month or so and then gradually learning with them. And then we find out that Emma did the curse, which is, I guess, something different, but again, these flashbacks and curses and all that stuff, it's getting old. It's getting old. So yeah, like I said, we find out Emma caused the curse, and then through the flashbacks we see that everybody had gone to Camelot and we found Merlin, but something happened along the way that prevented the Dark One, the darkness being lifted from Emma. And this is really the only plot-related point that I will have because I just feel like it's so overdone and I needed to talk about it. All the other ones are mostly characters. Okay, so 2. Emma, of course, in this season has the darkness, but she doesn't seem as dark as the other ones have been, especially Gold. Gold is just completely dark. She is like a puppy compared to him, but I'll talk about him later. She just, instead of becoming evil, she just seems to become more badass and more secretive, if you understand what I'm saying. She doesn't have many evil ulterior motives. For the beginning half of this season, it did seem like she was doing stuff for her own gain and that kind of stuff. But then we learned that's not the case, so it doesn't seem like she is as evil as Rumpelstiltskin was. 3. King Arthur. Now, it was cool to have his story and the background included in this season, but I just gotta say that he was a dick. He was just a power-hungry asshole. I don't know, they keep on introducing people who are either not really important or important for maybe one episode, or they're assholes. And yeah, that's all I have to say about him. 4. Henry. I just wanted to say that he seems to be growing up really fast, and I know guys during that age kind of do grow up super fast, but it's so weird because he looks so much older, and now he has a crush, and it just seems he's growing up, and it's just so adorable. And yeah, I just had to mention that because I needed 10 points. So 5. Rumpelstiltskin. He, I think, is one of my favorite characters of the series because he is the most three-dimensional character. All the other ones are basically two-dimensional. They all are perfect people, and if they have a flaw, it's something so minor or something that we haven't really gone into much that they're basically still two-dimensional. But with Rumple, he just has so many different aspects to him. When he wakes up after the darkness is taken out of him, he is weak and cowardly, how he was basically before he was the Dark One. But then he is shaped into a hero by Emma to get Excalibur from the rock. So it seems like he has completely changed, and he's ended his manipulative, evil ways. But I'll talk more about this in a later point. Which I know it seems like I kind of just ended it, but you'll see why I did that, hopefully. So 6. New characters. The one thing that I really love about the series is seeing how they decide to bring in new characters and how their stories will come together with the ones that are already told. So I really enjoy that. And in this season we saw King Arthur, Merlin, and Merida, which I thought was really cool, and I really liked how their stories kind of came together. Sorry, my hair fell out. But yeah, so that is one aspect that I really enjoy from this TV series, how they just bring in other like fairy tales and that kind of stuff and connect them all. 7. Returning characters. In this season, a lot of characters that just seemed to disappear came back, which I was really glad because they seriously were just like there 1 second and then just gone for no reason. And some of them were Red, Mulan, and Lancelot. And I feel like Lancelot kind of wasn't as important. I don't even remember seeing him before. I mean, obviously we did because Snow said something about it. So obviously we had to have seen him before. But like I was really happy with Red because she just honestly disappeared, I think, after the 1st or 2nd season with no like story behind it, I don't think, or at least nothing that I remember because there was other stuff going on. And Mulan, kind of the same, but not as obvious, I guess, as Red, or not as like completely gone as Red. But yeah, it was nice to see them come back to the story, even if it was for like 1 episode, 1 or 2 episodes. So 8. I had to look at my fingers there to make sure I had the right number. Hook. So towards the end of this half season, we learn a lot about his past, like how his father abandoned him and how the evil queen enlisted him to work for her to kill her mother. And that was interesting enough, but we find out more. We find that while everyone was in Camelot, you know, the whole group of people who are the main group, I guess, of what is the name of the town? Storyville? No. I don't know. I can't remember it. But they're like the main group of people. And while they were over there, we find out that Hook was turned into a second gold one. Oh my goodness, I really cannot talk right now. A second dark one. And he didn't realize until like the last 4 seasons. Holy crap, this is awful. Until the last 4 episodes of the half season. So he didn't act out any differently because he did not realize, I guess, that he was the Dark One. But the second he realized that he was, he just like completely switched the coin, like he flipped the coin. And he has this whole plan to, I guess, get revenge, but the thing is that's not the entire game plan, and I don't think we were ever really told what it was. So I was a bit confused with that. Like, obviously he wanted revenge for, against Gold for killing his girlfriend, who used to be Gold's wife. But I thought, like, since he has Emma, there was no reason to do that, so I have no idea why he ended up doing it. Of course, he ended up resurrecting all the past Dark Ones, which still I don't know why he did that. I don't, like, his evilness just came out of nowhere. Yeah, he was the Dark One. But at least with Emma and Gold, it seemed that, like, they had reasons for being evil and doing their evil stuff. Like, they had motives. It didn't seem like Hook had a motive for this, and I just was completely confused. But then he died a hero, and then my feels were completely ripped apart because he died. And of course, that scene made me cry. Like, I mean, that must have been assumed that I would have cried at that point because I cry at anything. But yeah, I just don't understand Hook's motives for doing what he did. So point 9 is kind of long. This is about an episode 11, called Swan Song. And before I go into what happened in that episode, I kind of wanted to talk about the title. So most series finales has this title. Or, yeah, the last episode of a season usually has this title. I don't necessarily know the reason behind it, but it's just common that the last episode is called Swan Song. But I find it even more fitting because, one, the main character is, of course, Emma Swan. Her last name is Swan. And two, because of what happened in the episode. Like I said, Hook had a heroic death and was heroic because he ended the darkness, or so he thought. However, it becomes known that Rumple wanted the power of the Dark One back because he was a coward and he wanted power. And so mischievously, he made it so he got the power once one of the Dark Ones was stabbed by the sword, whatever, Excalibur, I think it's Excalibur, because I think it was made whole. But yeah, he was stabbed by that sword. So Emma finds out and realized that Hook died for nothing. And at the end, she and presumably the other main character group were heading to the underworld to get Hook. So I don't know, I just saw that this title was really fitting for this, even though it usually happens at the end of a series, like the last episode. But yeah, I just saw it was fitting, and I just wanted to talk about that. So point 10. So for my predictions, they're not that hard to come up with because, like I said in the first point, it's kind of predictable what's going on. So I think that Emma will go to the underworld to save Hook, which is easy enough to predict because we saw everybody starting to go to the ship. However, I think it will be prolonged by some issue. Something's going to happen that's going to make it difficult until, like, the last episode. They're going to be in the underworld until, like, the last episode. Because we have been told that Meg and Hercules have been casted, I believe that we will meet them in the underworld somehow. I don't know how. Gold, or Rumple, is going to be completely evil, as we have seen already. And then Belle will eventually notice that he has the darkness in him again. She'll get angry again because, they keep on going back and forth. They love them, but then your trust is completely broken, but I still love you. And it's just annoying. But yeah, those are my predictions. Like I said, it's not that hard to come up with. There's no really surprise element. It always follows the kind of same plot line, roughly like the same, I don't know. It's just not very different. There's no variety in the structure of the seasons, which is really annoying because I think this could be a really, really great TV series because I think the concept is really cool. They just need to figure out a different way to present it because honestly, it's getting old. I know a lot of people have stopped watching it because they literally do the same structure for each season and it's just, come on. You can do better. you can. That being said, I'm definitely going to watch next season because I need to know what happens, and I love Meg and Hercules, and I want to see them portrayed in the series. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this review thing, even though it wasn't quite long, because honestly, like I said, it's really hard to do it for this show because literally each season is the same, with just like minor tweaks with the characters. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I think the next show that I'll probably do is Supernatural, but I have to write everything down for what I'm gonna say. But that should be fun because Supernatural is amazing. So yeah, I'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!